I hope you are all doing well. So this is the first video in our Pega Constellation UI series. The goal is to give you hands-on experience working with the Pega Constellation. And this video is designed for both freshers and those who are doing the transition from older version to latest, version of a Pega where they want to use the Constellation UI. And we'll also cover almost all the UI elements like radio buttons, single select checkboxes, multi-select, and etc. etc. In Pega Constellation UI. And we'll also go through some basic use cases to help you in real-world enterprise applications. And today we'll start by creating our first application and the first case type. I will show you what are all out of the box rules gets created, and we'll see the initial screen when we launch the first case. Also, I'll show you how we can create our own user collection form and have it launch when we open or when we launch our case. Okay, so let's get started. So I have just created the application. Either we can log off or we can directly switch to the dev studio and we can again switch to the application we have just created. Now we'll create our first case type. I'm not using the autopilot suggestion because it will create a whole life cycle and we don't want to use it. We just want to create our own case type. In background actually it's creating lots of rules, that's why it is taking time. Okay, now our first case type is created. Now we can see we have one stage create and the process also is a create. What happens if we save and launch this case? Let's see. Okay, now first case, see, we will just see label and the description, which we also used to see when we were creating our first case type in previous application. This create was coming, right? But we hardly use it in real time scenario, right? So what I will do, first I will be going back to the case type and I will tell what are all the out of the box rules gets created, and as I told you earlier, we'll create our own user work form. Okay, now we'll go to the data model. So these case ID, description, duplicate case, reference, label, notes, and workspace, these are all the out of the box property which got created. And here you can see this description is primary and the label is primary. And also you might have noticed when you launch the case, you will see this label in the description, right? So I will tell you what is this primary field and what is its significant. So what happens if you go to UX and you will see in the other views, you will see this create, edit, detail views gets already created. Okay, out of the box. This is the out of the box. So now when you will click on the create, you will see it is referencing the primary field, correct? This is the primary field. So what is happening, these fields has been selected as a primary, so that's why it is only showing you the description and the label. Now here if you see label and description, correct? So if I just remove the description and I just add a case ID, now what happened? Let's see. If we save and run again, we'll see case ID and the label gets created. Power, right? So this is the significance of the primary fields. We'll see and use the primary field as well in um, coming lectures. Now go back here. So this is the full page view. So whatever view you are seeing here, right? Heading and subheading, summary, tabs. So here you can update your tabs. So for example, this is the detail. Now here this detail is something whatever you fill, it shows you in the read only format. If you don't want that, or pulse you don't want in your case, you just remove it, and in runtime it saves. You won't see the pulse here. So from here you can handle whatever the fields or the uh, you know screens which you want to show. Now coming to the other view, here you will see list view, and here you will see first case list has been created, partial view, detail is created, form view, create and edit is created. So under form, create and edit, we generally use it to collect the information and to edit the collected information. Detail is for just a read only. So everywhere you will see they are just referencing the primary fields. See, okay, and that's how you will see it. Now going back, what is this list? So this is nothing but a data page in a list, as a list source. Okay. If you want me to show, I will just go to the dev studio and I will show you that data pages also gets created out of the automatically. I mean, let's go to the date, not data type, record, data model, data page, and first case list, right? So what happens, these two pages gets created. So basically this page is doing the source of a lookup, and this is sourcing the report definition of table editor report, right? This data table editor report. So if you remember, these report definition and all gets created when we were working on the previous versions as well. So what is the significance here? Let me again switch back to the App Studio. What is the significance? If we click this, let's see what we see. So here, like, you can get all the case related data. Okay. Now you cannot see anything here. So if you want to add apart from the primary field, for example, case ID and work status, if you add, you will see the column here, right? Now see, this primary field actually automatically gets referenced everywhere. And if you want to include this in the primary field itself, then go to the data model, and in the primary field you just add that. Okay, so these are all the out of the box rules gets created in the backend, so that you can directly go ahead and start working on it. Now as I show you that when the case is launched, this create option comes, but I don't want to use this create. I want my own user collection, user data collection form, and I want to reference that form, and I want to show here when we launch the case. So for that, in traditional version, what we were doing, we were creating one data class and creating properties there, and one section we create there, and in the case we create one page and also create one section and reference the data section, and for initiation we update the data transform p by default, or for any uh, in place of by default, we create the data transform to just initialize that section to show here, right? So that is what we were doing in the older version. But let's see how we can achieve in the Pega Constellation. So what we will do, let me go back to the case type. I will be creating our first data type, collect user details. Okay. Now, again, it's saying AI suggestion. What are all the options I can give? And I will just define the data source now. That means it's just taking the Pega data. And whether I want to use the autopilot to suggest the data model. Basically, it will give you first name, last name, phone number, and other properties. And you need to just select and go next so that it will create the data model. But here I am going to select the option manually, and I will be creating my own data model as per my need. Now my data type is created. So what I'm going to do, I will be just adding the fields like first name, text, last name, text, email, right? It automatically selected type as an email. Phone, it will automatically select the phone type as well. If not, then we will just remove here and we will select from here as a phone. Then what else? Occupation. Yeah. And text. We will submit this. Now, as I told you, in backend, you will see few views gets automatically created, right? So, irrespective of whether you are creating in case type or in data type, this UX option now you can see in the data type as well. So you will see here the same views also gets created. Okay. For example, you can see collect user list, details, create and edit. Okay. Again, what they are going to refer? They are going to refer the primary field. What you have given in the primary field? Nothing. So whenever you will launch, you won't see anything. Okay. So just to show you, I am going to add only first name and last name in the primary field, so that I will show in the runtime if I refer the out of the box sections, for example create and edit or detail, what you will see. So go to the primary field, add first name, last name and occupation. That's it. Submit. Now, as I told you, I am going to create my own view and include all these fields so that I can reuse this field into my case, right? So go to the UX, go to the other view. Now, form view, basically we select if we want to collect the user data. If we want to show something in the read only, we will select the partial. Okay, so here I'm going to create a new view, collect user details, submit. Okay, collect user data, submit. Click on this view to put all the fields which we want to show inside that field, inside that view. Add fields. What fields we are going to include? First name, last name, phone, email. One more field was occupation. Any other field we want? No. So these are all the Pega created fields. So just add. We will reorder them as per our design. Phone and email should be here. Okay, now we are done with the data part. And here we have selected the layout as a single layout. Okay, now here our task is done. Save. Now go to the case type. I don't want to use this. I just want to use another process and our own view. Remove this. Collect user information. That is done. Now what we will do? Either we can create a view from here, or we can go to the UX. I can create the view here. Okay. Anyway, from anywhere, from both these places we can create. So just create the configure view. Use collect user information is the view name. Now what we want? We want to show the view of the data class which we have created. For that, we will be creating one page where I can load the data of the database, so that in clipboard I will see all the data in one page, right? So for that, we will be creating one data property in a page of a page type in a data model. For that, just click on the add field. User detail. Select the type as a embedded data. So embedded data we always select when we want to collect some information or we want to enter some data. Okay. Now it is going to be in a form of page. We will select as a single record. What is the data object? Data object is a collect user detail. Okay. So this is nothing but your data type. Okay. If I submit, our page gets created. Good. Now go to the workflow, configure view. In collect data, I will add the field as what was this? User detail, right? Add. Now here, if you will see, by default it will be selected as a create view, and in create view what we get? Primary fields, like this: first name, last name and occupation, which we have selected for the primary field. Again, we will just select our own view which we have created manually. Save. Okay, now you can see our view detail. Now this is the layout. So here in the data class we have created the view in this format, but in the case I want to show them in a form of 2-column, correct? But it's not rendering. For that, go to the advanced. There is one option, embedded views. Select this. It changes. So you don't need to go to the data class to change the layout option and to show here. But what we will do, we will just select here and select this option, and we are good. Okay, till here we are good. Now let's launch our case and we'll see. Right? So we have achieved this use case. Now we have an option of fill the form with UI. So it will just fill the random data and everything, and you can submit it. Okay. So this is the use case which we wanted to work upon, and here you will see, right, details is coming as a label. I mean label and case ID. I want to change those as well. So go here. First case UX of case type. Go to the details and remove this and select collect data. Let's see what happens. Right now, this detail, collect data, user detail, you don't want these, right? So what we can do, go to the case type again. Don't call the view, just include the properties which you want to show. What property we want to show? All the properties from this page. Good. Okay, so that's all, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you.